everyone. Today I want to discuss about the last chapter, that is chapter 17, that the stars and the solar system. So this is our last chapter. That have you noticed, if you look at the sky during the day, then what do you see? You can see only that bright, means you can see the bright sun only at that time of day. Okay, and the brightness of the sunlight hides all the other heavenly bodies such as moon, then stars and planets, which we can see during the night time. The sun, the moon, the planets and stars and other objects we can see in the sky, these are known as celestial objects or heavenly bodies. Okay, so if you look at the night sky in a village, then you can spot for more number of stars than you can see in a city. Why? Because the dust, smoke, pollution and that bright light in the city, it will be hide many small heavenly bodies, okay, with weaker light. And what happens, some of the stars twinkling while the other bright stars do not. Why? Actually the ones that do not twinkle are the planets, that are not stars, that planets are not twinkle. So that heavenly bodies which are present in the sky that are not twinkling, so these are the actually planets, these are not the stars. Okay, and the branch of science that deals with the observation of celestial bodies, that is known as astronomy. And the most important instrument for observation is telescope, that we can see in the sky with the help of telescope. No one knows the size of universe. It is even impossible to guess its size. Okay, and scientists have proved that the size of universe is expanding like a blown balloon. Are you aware about that galaxies? Actually, we see the stars in the sky in groups, and each group having billions of stars in it, and these groups are known as galaxies. And the sun, our earth, other planets and the stars that we see in the part of the Milky Way galaxy, that is also known as Akash Ganga. Okay, so this is the Milky Way galaxy, and it is spiral in shape with bulb in its center. It looks like a band of light shining across the sky, and the sun is located in one of its arms. Now, do you know what are stars? Stars are huge spinning balls of hot gases, and these are held together by the gravity. And most stars are made up of hydrogen and helium. All stars have their own light, so stars are luminous objects, while moon does not have its own light, so moon is non-luminous object. Okay, so all stars have their own light, that's why they are luminous. And in the center of the stars, hydrogen ions combine to form helium ions, and this is known as thermonuclear fusion. In this process, the core releases a huge amount of energy, and that transverses the star's interiors and radiates into outer space. And this energy produces light and heat. That's why they are twinkling. Okay, so they are producing heat and light. Now the sun is the medium sized star, and it looks big because it is closest to us, and there are other stars that are much bigger than the sun, but as they are too far away from us, they look like the points, they are look like very small, but they are not actually, they are not small. Actually, they are very very bigger in size. They are very big in size, but they are very far from us. That's why they are looking like the points. Okay. Now, do you know what are planets? Actually, these planets are celestial objects that revolve around the sun, and they do not have their own light. They reflect the light of the sun. That's why the moon looks very bright because of the reflection of light, sun's light. And they do not twinkle and are smaller than the stars, and they are mostly made of rocks. Then these are, you know, that 8 planets in our solar system. So these 8 planets you can learn like that. My very educated, my very educated mother, my very educated mother just serve us nuts. So this is the simile that you can learn all the 8 planets according to its position. Okay, so you can learn these by this simile. My very educated mother just serve us nuts. So what is here? My here resemble here or represent here Mercury. Okay. Then we, Venus, Mercury, Venus, Earth. Educated means here Earth. After that, Mother, Mars, just Jupiter, so Saturn, us, Uranus, and nuts, Neptune. Okay, so this one is the simile for learning these 8 planets, and these 8 planets are revolving around the sun. Sun is present at the center. Okay, like this sun is present at the center and others are revolving around the sun. Okay, these 8 planets. So like that, 1 planet, 2 planet, 3 planet, 4, 5, then 6, 7 and 8 planet. Okay, so these are revolving around the sun, and the earth is revolving or rotate on its axis. Okay, like that it will be rotate around its axis, at its axis. So that is known as rotation, and means the earth is moving at or on its axis. So that is rotation. When it will be just moving like that, then it will be just move around the sun also. So that is known as a revolution. Okay, so this is the main terms. Now let us write these 8 planets, and after that we will discuss one by one. So first planet, that my is representing the Mercury. So we'll write here Mercury, then Venus, Mercury, Venus, Earth. Okay. Third is Earth. Then next Mars. Then next fifth one Jupiter. Then sixth we can write here. Sixth is Saturn. Seventh is Uranus. Eighth is Neptune. So these are the 8 planets which are present in our solar system. Mercury, Venus, Earth, then Mars, Jupiter. Okay, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. And you can learn it by my very educated mother just serve as nuts. Okay, you can just remember this simile, and after that you can learn all these 8 planets. Now, do you know the planets revolve around the sun? Sun, that will be the these planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth. These are revolving around the sun. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, that I have already told you. Okay, and all planets revolve around the sun along their orbits also. Means that they will be revolve around their orbits, and they take time to complete a revolution, and the time taken by the planet to complete one revolution, that is called period of revolution. And like Earth, other planets also rotate around their axis while rotating around the sun. Okay, and this is known as period of rotation. And the planets that are nearest to the sun, that is Mercury, okay, and Venus and Earth, okay, and Mars. So these are the 4 planets are there which are nearer to the sun, and these are known as inner planets. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, these planets are known as inner planets. Okay, because these are nearer to the sun. So these 4 planets are known as inner planets. Okay. Now the other planets that you can see, that Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. So these 4 planets you can write here also. These 4 planets are the known as the outer planets. So you can write that one here. These 4 planets are known as outer planets. Okay, that is Jupiter. You can write the Jupiter here. So these planets that are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, these are known as outer planets. Okay, so you can write here outer planets. Okay, so these are the far from the sun. Got it? Inner planets have none or fewer satellites or moons. Outer planets have rings around them and have more satellites than the inner planets. Okay, let us discuss that first one. This is that Mercury. Actually, the entire surface of Mercury is covered with bowl-shaped craters or holes. So, craters and holes are present on the Mercury. Okay. Now, as it is very close to the sun, the daytime temperature is about 400 degrees Celsius. So, the temperature of the Mercury, it will be 400 degree Celsius because it is nearer to the sun. During the daytime, the temperature is 400 degree Celsius and the gravitational force is very low, and therefore it cannot hold an atmosphere. And because of the absence of atmosphere, the heat is quickly lost during the night and the temperature drops to minus 200 degrees Celsius. You can see the planet just before sunrise and immediately after sunset. During the daytime, it is hidden because of the glare of the sun mainly. Okay, so because of that absence of atmosphere, it will be during the night time, it will be decreases, the temperature decreases up to minus 200 degree Celsius. Okay, so remember that. Now we can take the another planet, that is Venus. Actually, Venus is nearly about the same size as of the Earth, and it is also the nearest planet to the Earth. Okay. though it is farther from the sun, because Mercury is the nearest one. After that, Venus will be come, or Venus will come. Okay, so that Venus will be next from that Mercury. So what happens? It is after the Mercury, Venus says, so it is hotter. It means it will be 480 degrees Celsius because of the presence of high level of carbon dioxide in its atmosphere, and because of its cloudy atmosphere, the planet reflects 75% of the sunlight it receives and looks the brightest star. Okay, so we can see the planet just before the sunrise and after sunset. Venus is popularly known as morning star and evening star. So you can remember that Venus is popularly known as morning or evening star. Okay, morning star and evening star. So which is planet is known as morning star? That is Venus. Okay. So morning star and evening star. That is known as Venus. Got it? Now next you know that is though that Venus is known as morning star or evening star, then though it is not a star, it is a planet. But what happens actually for 292 days, it appears as the evening star in the western horizon, and for the next 292 days it appears at the morning star in the eastern horizon. Unlike Earth and most other planets, it rotates on its axis from east to west. Okay, so you can see the planets of Venus just like the phases of the moon. Okay, like phases of moon, you know that it will be full moon days, after that it will be decreases in size. Okay, the new moon day will be there, it will disappear. After that crescent moon will be appears. Got it? So that will be started and grow in size and will become full disk. Like that you can see the phases of the Venus also. Now next is Earth. This is our planet. We can take the Earth, and Earth is the only planet that is known for the presence of life. Actually, that Earth, you can say the existence of life is on possible on the Earth. It is not a as not it is not a as hot as the Mercury or Venus, not as cold as the outer planets like that Uranus and Neptune or Jupiter also. Okay, so the right distance from the sun and the presence of atmosphere to maintain the right temperature and help the planet to sustain life. Okay, so also its atmosphere has oxygen and carbon dioxide, which are essential for sustainable to life. Okay, or you can say it will help in the existence of life, because atmosphere contains the oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. These are very essential for the plants as well as animals. Like carbon dioxide is essential for the plants, because plants are using carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Okay, and we are taking oxygen for breathing purpose, so we are respiring, because of the respiration is taking place because of the presence of oxygen. That's why it is favorable for us or for the existence of life. The presence of water in the liquid form and the layer of ozone that stops UV rays from the sun to reach the earth, these are also help in the sustenance of life. From outer space, and the planet appears to blue green. Why? Because of the reflection from the water and land mass present on its surface. That's why it is looks like blue green. Okay, and it rotates around an imaginary axis which is tilted at the angle of 20. You have heard about that, 23 and half. It will be tilted little bit. That is, the angle is 23 and half degree. And the side of faces, the sun has day and the opposite side has night. We see the change of season because of the tilted axis and rotation around the sun, and the tilt always remains in the same direction. When the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, then it is summer, okay, in the northern hemisphere, and winter in the southern hemisphere. Okay, it will be opposite. Likewise, when the southern hemisphere is tilted toward the sun, then it is summer in the southern hemisphere and winter in the northern hemisphere. On 21 March, or the you can say that vernal equinox, it is spring in northern and autumn in southern hemisphere, and the length of day and light is same on this day. Okay, after this, as the northern hemisphere is nearer to the sun because of the tilt, and the days are longer, okay, and the nights get shorter as it continues. Mainly what happens, it continues till 21st June, okay, or you can say that summer solstice, that summer solstice 21st up to the 21st June. After this, the days become shorter in the northern hemisphere till the autumnal that equinox, or you can say that 23rd September. During this, it is autumn in the northern and spring in the southern hemisphere. From this, we can say till winter solstice, or winter solstice, then that is on 21 or 22 December. The days become shorter in the northern hemisphere, okay, and as the southern hemisphere come closer to the sun, and it is summer in the southern hemisphere and winter in the northern hemisphere. It will be opposite to that. Okay, so this one is about the earth. Now next we can take the Mars, and the next planet is Mars. So the Mars is also known as Mangal. In Hindi it is known as Mangal, and Mars, other name of the Mars is red planet. Okay, so you can write here, it is an red planet. Mars is also known as red planet. Got it? So you can write that Mars is also known as red planet. We can just rub these things. Okay, according to that, we will discuss. So here 8th is Neptune, and Mars is also known as red planet. And in Hindi it is known as Mangal Grah or Mangal. Okay. So it has a rocky surface. Mars has rocky surface full of craters and mountains. Okay, and it has almost half the size of the earth, as a very thin atmosphere is present in the on the Mars. It is cold and temperature ranges between minus 120 degrees Celsius to minus 25 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere has mostly carbon dioxide and some water vapor is present on that. Okay, so it has the largest volcano in the solar system and deepest canyon, and it has two moons, that is Deimos and Phobos. So you can write that it contains two moons. So write the name of the moons. Okay, that is Deimos and Phobos. Okay, so you can write Deimos and Phobos. These are the two moons which are present on the Mars. Okay, So Deimos and Phobos are the two moons. Now we can take the another planet, that is Jupiter, and Jupiter is also known as Brahaspati. Okay, so let us discuss about the Jupiter. Actually, it is the largest planet of our solar system, and its volume is almost 1300 times than that of Earth, and weight is about 318 times that of the Earth. Okay, and Jupiter is very active planet. It has many storms ranging all over the surface, and the most famous is Great Red Spot, which is a gigantic rotating storm. Got it? And its diameter is very large, you can say that. The structure of this storm is very complex, and it moves in generally anti-clockwise direction. That is like that, anti-clockwise direction. It has existed for its moves, and it has existed for as about 100 years. Okay, and Jupiter spins on its axis faster than any other planet in the solar system. Okay, so you can say this is why it bulges out at the equator, and the strips which are visible on the Jupiter surface are caused by streams of fast powerful winds that blow in opposite direction across the planet, and the planet looks bright because of its thick atmosphere reflecting most of the sunlight falling on it. It can seen for 6 months in the evening sky, and 4 of its satellites can be viewed through telescopes. Okay, now we can take the next planet, that is Saturn, and Saturn is also known as Shani. Actually, Saturn is the second largest planet, and it is famous for the 3 beautiful rings made of ice and dust. It has at least 31 moons. So Saturn has 31 moons. Okay. Now, what happens? These moons, some moons are included like Titan, then Hyperion, Mimas. Okay. After that, Enceladus, Rhea, and Phoebe. These are the some moons. It has a low density which is lesser than water. Its surface consists of liquid and gas. That's why lesser than water, that's why it will be float on water. Okay, it can float on water easily because it has very lesser density. Next we can take the Uranus. Actually, Uranus is a unique planet in our solar system because it is tilted at 98 degree. Okay, 98 degree it will be tilted. When viewed from the earth, it appears to rotate on its side, and the atmosphere consists of hydrogen, helium, and methane also. Okay, like Venus, it rotates from east to west, and the temperature in the upper atmosphere is so cold that the methane condenses and forms the thin cloudy layer which gives the planet in blue green appearance. Okay, our Uranus is the farthest planet from the earth that can be seen with the unaided eye on clear dark night. Now next last one is the Neptune. Okay, Neptune is also known as Varun, and Neptune is the another name of the Varun in Hindi, and Neptune is also known as blue giant because its diameter is about 4 times that of the earth. Okay, which makes it its fourth largest planet in our solar system. Its atmosphere is mostly contains hydrogen and helium. Okay, and the bluish color is because of the methane present in its atmosphere. Okay, and which absorb that methane absorb the red light and leaving the rest of the light scattered, that is enhanced as blue wavelength. Okay, so these are our planets, 8 planets that we have discussed. So write about these planets and learn this simply. My very educated mother just serve as nurse. According to that, you can recognize or you can remember the planets according to the numbers. Okay, so with this, thank you and have a nice day.